Mark My Words Productions.
Often, anytime I come across your path, I always feel like you're such a happy individual. Maybe not happy is not the word, but joyous. You seem to revel in the joy of existing. Am I right?
Yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I would kind of feel that I'm at a balance, I would say, an even keel with things, because I understand really there's nothing, just like I understand there's nothing to get that so worked up about with your problems. There's really nothing on the flip side of that. There's really nothing so big and so joyous for you to get worked up about as well. It's just how you go about it. Now with me, I know for me, I don't really want to be sitting down sulking all damn day, you know what I'm saying? So I just choose to feel good about, certain things that I go through, or certain activities I have. Otherwise, really, with me, why are you doing it? Or why are you even out if you're moping around? But I mean, truthfully, I go through my ups and downs. But as soon as really I go through my downs, I kind of quickly catch it and understand that I'm making myself react that way. So to the point that I just bring myself back to a balance. And I also do it the opposite way, too. Like, if I find myself getting too overjoyed about something, I'm like, Mark, calm down.
Really?
Yeah, I really do. Because it's all in your mind, and
So you're always striving for the middle.
Yeah, because really, that's when you get the most clarity out of things, how I feel. Because if you're in the middle, you can kind of see both sides to it as far as seeing just one side to it. So, I mean, that helps me in my progression, just to stay in the middle. I feel like I can make better decisions. And so I guess that's really what I strive for. And, I can't take, a lot of complaining. People call me up, and I notice that the conversation is the same. It's them complaining about their day, about their week, or the same recurring problem. And my answer and my response is the same. Damn, that's messed up. Damn, that's messed up. Damn, that's messed up. I mean, what do they want me to say? I mean, but see, I can't give them the answer. The answer's always with them, and they know the answer. They know what would make them happy. They really do. But they just want to hear somebody say it over and over and over again. But so, I mean, I really can't take a lot of complaining, especially when the answer is all in the middle of your hands. And I would say for the most part, my friends that are close to me know this. And truthfully, like my closest of friends aren't really complainers. Because it's almost like birds of a feather flock together. Right. And I mean, I even noticed this, before I ever smoked marijuana. Like, I didn't know anybody that smoked marijuana. When I started smoking marijuana, it all started coming out the woodworks. Like, I was like, damn, what the fuck is going on here? And that's like everything in your life, when you start having a mind frame about something or going about your life a certain way, it brings it into your life tenfold, So really, my friends, like a lot of my closest friends, react in certain methods or manners of how I would or think on a certain vibration, I guess. But I do have a lot of acquaintances and a lot of friends that may not be as close to me that do tend to be repetitive in their problematic conversations. But, I mean, it's okay. It's fine. It's like, and truthfully, when I get annoyed by it, I mean, truthfully, I even know there's no reason for me to get annoyed by it. I mean, but it's just my human nature. It's just one of my human things that I understand that is kind of like, oh, God, this again, But the ego, I mean, really, the ego, there's a positive and negative to everything, and there's a positive and negative to your ego. The positives in in having an ego is that it keeps you wanting to do, better things. As far as I want to be a better artist, I want to. If you're an athlete, I want to run faster, And as an individual, that can be good for your growth because it gets you working harder. And really, that's the only reason why you want to work harder, do something better, is because your ego tells you so. So it's good for certain aspects like that. You can, and as far as acquiring knowledge, the ego is, people only want to know more because the ego says, I want to know, So, you open yourself up to wanting to know more, So there are plenty of positive aspects to the ego, but it's just that you just got to keep it in check. You got to have that balance because sometimes the ego can really be consuming, and to where you just consume yourself into your selfishness, and it'll turn from trying to better yourself to really just trying to solely be greater than everything else. See, that's what it is. It's the fine line. The ego, the positive in it is that you need to keep it to where it betters yourself. But you need to not let it override you to where you consciously like, okay, I want to be better than everybody else. Just be the better self that you can be. Stop comparing yourself to other people. So that's just the fine line of it. And there's not one thing about me that I would say that I regret being or going through, because I know everything is a learning process and it's going to get me to where I got to go. Really, there's no such thing as bad to me. Everything is good, because even if something happens to you that is bad, you're supposed to learn something from it. And if you learn something from it, then how is it bad? How is it bad? It's only good. It's only good. It's people are very confused about, just when I was saying this in another interview, people are very confused about enlightenment. They take enlightenment like, you achieve a certain amount of information or enlightenment, quote unquote, which really I really don't like the word for, but to where that, you're not supposed to get upset, you're not supposed to, be depressed, you're not supposed to let anybody get you down. They're so confused about enlightenment. One thing, really, there's no such thing as enlightenment. It just is what it is. It's just attaining more information, and that does not mean that nobody's going to piss you off or you're not going to go through problems anymore. This is a continuing thing. It's a continuing growth. It's a continuing game of life that you're playing with yourself. So it's going to have ups and downs all the time. So the best thing is really just to try to keep a level head and to keep balance. So, like I said earlier, so you can go through your problem, your situations, your solutions, your solution-making process the best that you can by seeing both sides of it.